2018 has, in my opinion, been one of the best years on the show. And I thought, why don't I just talk a little bit about it? Let's recap. We have done everything, or at least almost everything. In this year, 2018, we introduced 2 new series, Common Sense and Alone Shakespeare. We brought back the Fireside Tales. We did a few sketch episodes, not as many as I would have liked. We did a few challenge episodes with Brian Wright and also by myself with those olives, which are absolutely terrible, by the way. I don't understand how anyone can have fun eating olives. And it's just been one of the most amazing experiences in my life. And I thought I'd just go ahead and go over some of my favorite moments. So here they are, a complete list of the best of 2018.
The best videos of the year.
The best episodes of 2018 is not an easy decision to make. There are quite a lot of choices with this, more than 100. But I finally narrowed it down to what I think went best, and I hope you all enjoy this list. It came from my heart, I'll say that.
Number 5, Push-Up Challenge.
A lot of people didn't like this episode because it's just me doing push-ups for like 3 minutes. And although I respect those people's opinions, I don't feel like they really get the point of this episode. It's not that I'm doing push-ups for 3 minutes. It's the fact that I'm able to do it for that long. Like, that took a long time to be able to do. I did a lot of push-ups before I was able to complete this thing. And it was, for me, one of my best episodes. I know it might not be that fun to watch, but it's just the spirit of it. The spirit of doing something like this on this show is worth putting it on this list.
Number 4, Common Sense.
Wayne Mowbray has been my favorite contestant on Common Sense. He's just an incredibly smart guy, and he was really easy to work with. The easiest contestant to work with on this show. But I will admit that my personal favorite episode was the Common Sense literature one with my mom. And Mom is just a funny person. I mean, she could do comedy if she wanted to. I mean, if you're wondering where I get any of my talent from, it's Mom. And in some ways, I think she might be better than I am. And she doesn't even know it. But every time she gets on the camera, it's a hoot. It's just a hoot to watch. And I will never forget that literature episode and the fact my mom didn't know Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Number 3, Love Episode.
How girls ask out guys versus how guys ask out girls is easily one of my favorite sketch episodes, even though there wasn't a lot of those this year. And I think one of the things about it was one I didn't think was going to go well, but managed to go much better than I expected. I mean, I had a lot of jokes there I didn't think people were going to get, and they really seemed to understand the emotion of it. And it wasn't, like, the easiest episode to make, but I think it ended up all working out. Thank you, Louie, for the kisses.
Number 2, Dracula.
While I did enjoy my How Girls Ask Out Guys and How Guys Ask Out Girls episode, I think my favorite of this year was the Dracula episode. And when I was making it, I didn't think it was going to turn out good. I thought it was just a copycat of my original Dracula episode, and just everything seemed to be going wrong, but everything went wrong so that everything could turn out all right. It was really funny, a lot of good jokes, and it just kind of ended up working. I don't know how, but it's not my favorite sketch episode of all time, but I would go as far as to say it's up there in the top 10.
Number 1, The Carolina Reaper.
Let me tell you all something about Brian Wright. Brian Wright is easily one of the nicest human beings. You're not supposed to be on the couch. Forget it. Brian Wright is easily one of the nicest human beings I have ever met in my entire life. Honestly, it would sometimes scare me. I will say this, he is a rocker through and through. That man, if you've ever watched Bill and Ted, that's kind of what he's like. It's like excellent, bogus, Queen, Rolling Stones. He's just all about that sort of stuff. And it was just a blast working with him, and doing the Carolina Reaper was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But it was great to have a friend with you while you were doing it.
Hardest challenges of 2018.
We didn't do a lot of challenges in 2018, but I feel like the ones that we did do were some of the hardest I've ever done in my entire life. So I thought I'd go over a few of my favorite, and I recognize this is a rather short list, but I feel like it has some good choices on it.
Number 4, black olives.
I know eating black olives wouldn't seem bad to a lot of you people, but it was just an awful experience. I don't understand how anyone could eat those just for enjoyment. That was very difficult. I cried. I'm not even joking. I cried literal tears from eating those things. Anyone who eats those for fun, they are a psychopath. That's what you see. You see an insane asylum, just people eating black olives by themselves in the corner, just chewing them down. You do not eat black olives and be a normal person in society. It's just not possible.
Number 3, Carolina Reaper.
I feel like some of you might be disappointed that I'm putting the Carolina Reaper as number 3, but let me just remind you, I'm not just putting it as number 3 for the year. I'm putting it as number 3 of the hardest challenges I've ever done in my entire life. And the ice bath was very hard to do. But the thing about the Carolina Reaper was that it lasted longer. Like, I was peeing fire from that thing. I was just in total pain. But I did enjoy it, actually. I would do it again, and I would recommend you all to do it. I think it's an experience that you should have before you die. Or because you die. Maybe.
Number 2, push-up challenge.
Let me just restate this. I did push-ups for 3 minutes straight. I'm sorry, but I just feel like I should get a lot more credit for that. That I actually did that. Sorry, I don't feel like anyone's impressed. They're just like, oh, it's so boring. It's 3 minutes of you doing push-ups. It was hard, okay? It was hard.
Number 1, Alone Shakespeare.
Alone Shakespeare is not just the hardest thing I've ever done on this show. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I don't know, that might include grieving for loved ones and just life experiences. I really think it was really hard to do. And the thing about it wasn't really the lines. Memorizing the lines was difficult. But what it all came down to was just editing it together and trying to come up with some other framing than vertical. Because, God help me, I cannot think of anything. I mean, I'll just set the camera down and be like, what else can I do with this? What other angle can I get? And I'm like, none. This is pretty much all I'm able to do. If you all have any ideas, please feel free to share them, but I am plumb out. I'm just a vertical framer through and through, I guess. Oh well.
Final recap.
So those were my picks for the best challenges, the best videos, and I also wanted to mention that I also gained one of my favorite subscribers on this channel. I don't want to say what his name is, but he helped me with the intro, he helped me with Alone Shakespeare, he just gave me a lot of confidence in life, actually. He gave me life advice, and I'm very thankful to have him on board, and I'm very thankful to have you all on board. It has been an amazing experience in my life. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a single thing. And that's one thing that I'm certain of. Happy 2018, and let's get ready to make new memories in 2019.